Welcome back to the channel. In my last video, we took a deep dive into the stats behind every 70-point game in NBA history. We broke down individual performances, usage rates, defensive ratings, and game pace to find patterns. If you missed it, make sure to check that out first. In today's video, we'll answer 3 big questions. What kind of player can score 70 points? What circumstances do they have to be in to do it? Who is most likely to be the next player to join the 70-point club purely based on stats? Let's get into it. Looking at the data, the average player profile of a player who scored 70 points in a game includes averaging 32.1 points per game during the season, heavy minutes averaging 36 minutes per game, takes a high number of field goals attempted, typically between 20 and 27 per game. These players are all volume scorers with a high offensive workload. During their 70-point games, their usage rates were significantly higher than their season averages, with players like Kobe Bryant hitting 57% and David Robinson hitting 53%. Analyzing the context of these performances, 3 critical factors emerge. 1. Weak opposing defense. The defensive ratings of opposing teams during these games were generally poor. For example, Donovan Mitchell's 71-point game came against the Bulls, who had a defensive rating of 217.9 on that night. High game pace. Games with more possessions provided more opportunities to score. David Thompson's 73-point game featured 86 possessions, one of the highest paces recorded among these performances. Significant increase in usage rate. Players who scored 70 points often had a usage rate well above their season averages. Devin Booker's usage rate during his 70-point game was 49.94%, nearly double his previous matchup against the Celtics. Using the data we've analyzed, let's identify potential candidates based purely on their statistical profiles. We first need to look at their scoring average. Players who have averaged at least 30 points per game are most likely candidates. Minutes played. Candidates need to play over 36 minutes per game to have enough opportunities. Field goals attempted. Players taking at least 20 shots per game are prime contenders. Usage rate. A season usage rate above 30% is a strong indicator, as these players are already central to their team's offense. Opposing team's defense rating. The likelihood increases when the player faces a team with a defensive rating above 150. Top contenders based on stats. Here are the top candidates purely based on statistical profiles. 1. Nikola Jokić. He's averaging 31.2 points per game, 37.2 minutes per game, 21.5 field goals attempted per game, and has a 31.2% usage rate. Number 2, Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum's averaging 21.1 points per game, 36.4 minutes per game, 20.3 field goals attempted per game, with a 31% usage rate. 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is averaging 31.4 points per game, 34.7 minutes per game, 21 field goals attempted per game, with a 36.3% usage rate. And finally, SGA, who's averaging 31.4 points per game, 34.4 minutes per game, 21.1 field goals attempted per game, and has a 32.1% usage rate. But of these people, who's going to do it next? Since there aren't any more individual stats we can look at, we're going to look at a team stat. We're going to look at their team's pace, because that'll tell us how fast the game will go if they're going to score 70. And to score 70, the game has to be moving really fast. In 4th was the Celtics, so Jayson Tatum, and they had a pace of 98.9. 3rd was the Bucks, who had a pace of 99.29. 2nd was the Thunder, who had a pace of 99.7. And 1st was the Denver Nuggets, with a pace of 100.95. Meaning that Nikola Jokić is going to be the next player to score 70 points in an NBA game. But who is he going to verse in this legendary matchup? Let's see. Well, it's a pretty clear-cut decision, as we need to pick a team that has a bad defense and also a high pace. And there is one team that satisfies both criteria, and that is the Washington Wizards. So make sure to watch the Nuggets Wizards game on the 16th of March. I'm sure I will. Who do you think will score 70 points next? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.